So this is a lovely recipe for brunch, and it's a soda farl. So I'm going to put in some sausages, some Simply Better sausages, some of this beautiful whiskey smoked bacon, which I'll show you in a minute, a fried egg, and some balsamic roasted tomatoes. So the first thing we need to do is a little bit of rapeseed oil. I'm going to put it in all the pans. So this pan will be for my egg and this pan will be for my tomatoes. So why rapeseed oil? It's a really nice Irish produced oil. This is from Derrycarman, County Louth. You get a high smoke temperature and it's not a strong tasting oil. And it's a lovely oil to cook with. I'm a big fan, I always have been, and I just think it's lovely to support Irish farmers. So these are our sausages here that we're going to use. So this is the Irish pork sausages. So using traditional butcher methods, and they are prepared in Monaghan, so they are. So that's Simply Better sausages. So we're going to put them on first because they're going to take a little while to cook. So just on my griddle pan, we're going to put them on. And then this is my favourite bacon, is the whiskey smoked Irish streaky rasher. So it's Board BA quality assured. It's a streaky, it's a lovely marbling of fat there, which gives so much flavour. We love this. I always have a pack or two in the fridge, and maybe even in the freezer have one or two, just to be on the safe side. This is it here, so I'm just going to put it onto the pan, or the griddle pan. So it's not too, look at how evenly it's cut. So I'm going to put 3 on here, but I'll probably just end up serving 2. So this is the smoked one. They also do an unsmoked one, so it's up to you. Definitely the smoked one is something we really, really like. Alright, so we're going to get them cooking because the sausages are going to take the longest to cook. Now into that in a few minutes I'll put in some butter. We're going to roast off some tomatoes, so I'm going to heat my pan here. And I may as well have my pan preheating for my egg, but I don't need it yet. So I'm using the cherry vine tomatoes. And I'm going to literally cut them just in half like this. So using the small, tiny wee knife here just for cutting them in half. So when they're on the vine like this, I just took them off before we started the video. They're lovely and they're sweet. And these are Irish growing too. So we're using nearly all Irish produce, which is fantastic. The eggs, that lovely relish we're going to use now is from Wexford Preserves, but I'll talk about that very shortly. Okay, so when we're doing the tomatoes, we're just going to literally place them onto the pan. We don't want to overcook them. We're going to roast them with a little bit of thyme. So this is some fresh thyme here. So when you're keeping any kind of herbs, thyme or a little bit of parsley, just literally to decorate the plate, if you can keep them in a little bit of cold water, just in a jug like that. So it's one of my favourite herbs, is fresh thyme. That's what it looks like there. And you can pick off the little leaves. I'll just show you. Like that there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to literally throw the sprigs on, but I am going to just break them like this, just literally like that, so then you're releasing that lovely flavour. So that's a really lovely ingredient. Now it'll begin to crackle, hear that? So don't be worrying, just stand well back. Let's have a little look at our sausages. So they're on. I want to get better colour there onto these sausages. Now because they're thick, they're going to take a little bit longer to cook, and I'm going to keep that up in a full heat. So that bacon is dry cured. So when it's dry cured, it's done by hand with salt and different kind of like sugar and different things like that. So it just gives lovely flavour to it. So we're just going to literally put in some balsamic vinegar. So I'm using this 3-year-old balsamic vinegar. You could use a red wine vinegar, but I'm a big fan of this. So this is the PGI, the Protected Geographical Indication. So Medina. So I got to visit this producer about 3 years ago in Italy. So it's going to be a little bit noisy. I'll turn down the pan. You could put a pinch of sugar, but there's no need. I'm going to use some salt. And then I'm going to use also a little bit of black pepper in this. So I'll just show you what we have here. So that's them there, just roasting away. You can flip them over if you want to. Probably the easiest way is just to flip them over like that. You're getting all the lovely flavour. Now you can roast these off in the oven. I think it's quicker to do them in the pan. That's what I would normally do. And when they're cut in half, they're going to cook really quick. And some of them are small, so just be aware of that. So I've turned down the pan. Just let them roast there. That's what they look like. So you see the way that's caramelising? That's exactly what I want. So what I'll do now, I'm going to play musical chairs. I'm going to move this over here. This is a bigger ring, just for the sausages to cook through. And I'm going to literally just take the tomatoes off. Just the heat. Leave them in the pan. They'll cook away there. They're perfect. Okay, we'll fry our egg in a moment. I just want to concentrate just on the bacon. So turn up this and then the sausages. So we're going to put in a little bit more oil onto the griddle pan. And then of course butter. Alright. So lots of lovely butter will give so much beautiful flavour. Now for our egg, when you're using eggs, we're using the corn-fed eggs. So that means they're fed with maize, so they are. Gives a lovely intense egg yolk. So I'm going to put this on in a minute. Nice hot pan, and I like to use a little bit of butter too onto the pan. So I'm going to just let that heat up there. To serve with the potato farl, which I'll put onto the pan in a minute. So this is our just soda farl, should I say, soda farl, or you can do this with potato bread, or you can do this with the blah. I'm just going to serve one of them because they're made with buttermilk, so they are. It's like the soda bread made into a farl. So look at, if you just look over here, just the way the butter will give this the most beautiful colour. Now I want the bacon to be really nice and crispy, and then you're going to get all that delicious flavour. So you are. So those sausages are quite thick now. The regular breakfast, Simply Better breakfast sausages, they'll definitely cook a little bit quicker than that. So with the soda farl, I'll just put it literally, make a little bit of room, onto the griddle pan, just in the corner there. So you're kind of warming that through. So the pan is still on nice and hot. And the key into when you're cooking sausages is to keep turning them regularly. That's really, really important. Now if you're doing this for a big group, you could seal them off in the pan and finish them off in the oven. Say you had a group coming over for brunch. Keeping the pan nice and hot, I'll actually just turn over the bacon and then we'll pop our egg on. Yeah, that's lovely. See that there? Beautiful, crispy. There's nothing nicer. Even this here with a fried egg, that bacon is gorgeous. We love it even in a BLT. So with some sliced tomato, if you get a vine tomato, some lovely cod salad and some crispy bacon, it's just wonderful. Okay, a little bit of butter in the pan. We have oil, so the oil will stop the butter from burning. I'm going to get my lid here, and then we're literally just going to put one egg just into the pan. So literally just crack it at the side of the pan, open it out, and just let it gently fall into the pan. The key into doing a fried egg, I switched the gas off, I should have had it on, is to keep the lid on it. So I'll just let that cook there for a minute. Now I want to check on the soda farl. Ooh, oh, that's lovely, look at that. Look, it's looking really good. And the bacon is getting crispy. And what I always like to do when I grill bacon like that, now I'm actually doing it on the griddle pan, but if you do grill it, what I would recommend you do is to put it, sorry now, I'm just going to turn this here. So put it onto some kitchen paper. So what I have here, so that will absorb any excess oil or butter. So the oil and the butter will give great flavour. So my egg is cooking. I'm going to put a little bit of sea salt, just literally like that, and it kind of creates a little bit of steam when you're putting the lid on it like that. You know, you can spoon over that lovely butter if you want to. I'm literally going to take off the soda farl. I'm going to arrange that, and then our bacon. So the sausages are going to take a little bit longer to cook. So you can see how this crisps up, and when it's dry cure, there's no white coming out of it, and it's quite a specific thing. You know, and to get it consistently right, I think this bacon is just delicious. So turning the sausages again. They're looking nice, but they're still not done. I'm going to move them onto the middle of the pan. I'm going to switch that off, and you'll find it begins to crackle now. I'll just make a little bit of room here. So, the steam, if you look now just at the egg, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, which I really like, and that's it cooked. So that's your perfect fried egg, the corn-fed egg. So we'll just literally place the soda farl. So this is, it's made with buttermilk. I'm going to talk to you about this. Just have a little look at the sausage. Yeah, just when it's firm, it's a little bit more, I think another little minute it's going to take to cook, because they really are such thick sausages. And you can cut them in half if you think that they're not cooked, but they will be cooked. So, right, this is made from Tom and Laura. They're from Wexford Preserves. So this is tomato relish. So it's not too spicy. They're the most wonderful people. They use all Irish fruit, you know, for their jams and their marmalade. They really are excellent. So just open this out, putting a generous spoonful of this on here. So kind of just spread that out. Now when you open that, keep that in the fridge, and it's lovely in a sandwich. Say if you're doing, again, the BLT, we're going to have a little look at our sausages. They're more or less done. Just turn them over one more time. They kind of keep rolling over to the side of the pan, which is perfect, but I've kept it quite high, so I have now. And they would be great actually if you're doing bangers and mash, would be perfect. So we're just going to arrange just our lovely crispy streaky bacon. I'll move that out of the way. So the reason why we used the kitchen paper, it'll absorb any excess oil and butter that comes from that. Them are lovely tomatoes. So I'm just going to literally spoon this over to the side. And all that lovely kind of syrup, can you see that there just in the, I don't want actual thyme, but what I want to do is just get a little bit of that, just a tiny little bit, just over, spoon it over, there we go. So that's the balsamic that has just reduced. Now, egg, use a fish slice for this. I'm going to turn off that now, turn off all my rings. I'm going to place this on top. And then I think because these sausages are really kind of so thick, one might just be enough. So I'll bring over my plate. You know, like they are really generous. Big sausage. You're not going to be hungry, so they're just firm to the touch. So they took the longest to cook, so that's why I put them on first. And then the last little thing is a little bit of flat leaf parsley. We're getting very chefy here, but I think that adds so much freshness. You're not going to be hungry after that. Maybe one sausage is enough, but we're very generous in Cavan. So that's my balsamic, kind of like fried cherry tomatoes, that dry cure bacon, the whiskey smoked, the fried egg, and then the buttermilk soda bread, and then of course that lovely sausages. I hope you enjoy this, because I think it's a real feast. And instead of the full Irish, if you're having a brunch, I think this will be, if you have any guests or family or friends coming, I think this will tick all the boxes. So enjoy this recipe. Thanks a million.